Welcome back to Niche Marketing Monopoly. I am Paul Rhines, and this is the 14th module, my final observations as we wrap up the program here. And things that I wanted to share that really just didn't fit in anywhere else, I kind of stuck to the side and put together as this last module. This is actually the 15th video in this training series, but the 14th module because we did have that bonus module that came in. I think it was after section 9. But before we get to those closing thoughts and ideas, I want to take a moment and just look back on some of the core distinctions that have been made through the course of the program, some of the things that we've covered, and some of the ground that we've traveled across together, and some of the things that I want you to have as major takeaways for all of this. And I said at the very beginning of this program that this series was about creating and communicating value. That's what this entire program has been about. And it doesn't matter what kind of product, program, or service it is that you want. Being able to create and communicate value is of paramount importance to being successful. And all of the tools that we've examined in this program, all of the language patterns, all of the different formulas for creating different elements of copy, all of the different ideas behind influence and pain management, all of those things go into creating and communicating value. And what I've shared with you here is largely the tools that I've utilized over the course of my career and seen others utilize very successfully. And we've all kind of amalgamated these tools into what they are today. I don't take singular credit for everything that's in this program, and I've tried to acknowledge those places where people did contribute. I told you also at the beginning of the program that I was going to show you how to take your product or service and build a niche monopoly. And that's really been my goal for this entire program. And at that point, I posed the question of, well, how's that going to take place? And I told you what we were going to do is create a complete business marketing identity for you that would structure your message to the public, control your consumer image, shape public perceptions, be able to position yourself as a recognized solution, and prove to the market that they need your product or service. Those were the things that I told you we were going to be doing at the beginning of this program. And now that you have everything in place that we've created during the course of this program, you can see how that all came to be true. The course agenda that we laid out when I started the program was based on the idea that I promised you I was going to show you the structure, science, and psychology of creating an effective marketing message, and where it is used and how to use it for maximum impact. I also promised you that we were going to look at common mistakes that cost money too. So we've been through all of those things, and I share this with you just to reiterate how far you've really come. Told you that this would be training that would be useful for scripts, promotions, presentations, or pitches. And I really mean anything that you've seen on the screen there pop up as we've been talking about this, virtually any written or scripted content of any type. If you're building a sales presentation for a direct sales environment, this is a fantastic model to be able to create that. If you're building a presentation for an elevator pitch, if you're building a presentation for angel investors, if you're building a presentation for any group presentation, any individual presentation that's face-to-face, that is direct marketing or direct selling. So you're strongly advised to have a script. And I'll digress for just a second before I continue with the program to make a really valid point, and that's this. If you take just a second right now and recall a scene, maybe your favorite scene from your favorite movie, and just go ahead and get something in your mind right now. It doesn't have to be your definitive, absolute favorite movie that you need to ponder about for a minute. Maybe pick a movie that's just fun, enjoyable, or something that you happen to like, or your favorite film. Grab that and grab any scene from it, just something that comes to mind, first thing that comes to mind, and kind of replay that in your mind. Maybe you're already well into it now, and that would be my hope. But just replay a scene from any picture that you've seen in your mind, and now go back and play it one more time, looking at the characters and how it was that they delivered the script. And while you're doing that, recognize this. That film that you liked so much was a word-for-word delivery of a script. That's to say that everything you've ever watched on television, in film, cinema, live plays are all word for word deliveries of written scripts. And I remind salespeople of this quite frequently, and I do that because of this. When you have a script, you have a map. That's really all a script is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to say word for word what it is when you're in the environment of a direct sales or direct marketing situation. If, however, you're making a group presentation, a podium presentation, or a presentation to a large assembly of people, then you should have a script and you will follow it word for word. Here's the thing about it, though, is that in the film that you thought about when I told you to remember a scene from a movie, the actors that delivered that written dialogue, that word for word delivery of that script, was done in a way that made you forget you were watching somebody read a script. And that's the hallmark, the trademark, if you will, of a polished presenter. Is somebody who can deliver a word-for-word dialogue of something that they know is the most highly effective means of delivering their message, and do it in a way that doesn't seem as though it's scripted. And that's done utilizing a variety of tools and techniques that are all in the presenter's toolkit. And if that's something that you'd like to know more about twice a year I put on a presentation toolkit workshop and seminar series. So shoot an email to me if you're curious about that, and I'll be sure to keep you notified about it. Just put the presentation toolkit in the subject line of the email that you do send me. So scripts, promotions, presentations, or pitches, virtually any written or scripted content. Doesn't really matter what it is. If you can script it, you'll be able to deliver the most compelling message. And given all of the tools that you've learned in this program, you should have a more compelling script than just about anybody. The base level training program is what we've been through here. These are the various sections that we've completed as we've gone through the whole series. All 14 of the videos plus the bonus section. And that's a lot of material that we covered, from best practices to understanding feelings and behavioral responses, and how to use pictures, when and where to use them, how to create pictures without using pictures, getting action, how to create a model for your business, crafting your copy, looking at pain management, closing, more and more. And so that's just a large volume of material that we've covered, and you've learned just a heck of a lot. And so I share this with you because I want you to acknowledge for yourself all that you've done. The course overview for the whole program, if you've gone through the base level training program here with these 15 videos and you're moving on to the advanced training program, there's a lot to look forward to there. And those of you that signed up for the advanced and the mastery level training programs, just a ton more information coming at you. A lot to look forward to, where we go through and we take each of the individual components of all of these different copy formulas and we break them down and go through them individually. There are workbooks and PDFs that accompany all of this. And then in the mastery level training program, we go through the long copy presentation formula and then my personal copy template, which is a long document that walks you through A to Z my process for structuring a presentation and doing it effectively. And then I also go into best email formats, some of my biggest secrets that I've amassed over the years that are just real gems that I keep in the toolkit. And we dig into the winning webinar formula, which is just an amazing series of copy strategies for creating a webinar that generates cash, and then the master copy formula guide. So there's just a lot going on within that. In the mastery level training program, everyone that goes through that, they create copy that I personally evaluate with them on a live call. And the prerequisite for the mastery level training program is the advanced training and the base level. All of you that have now completed the 15 modules here in the base level training programs and have done that, have now completed the prerequisite for the advanced training program. So you're ready to move on to that and into the mastery level. If you've already purchased those, you've already got your path on that. If not, I'd strongly encourage you to contact my office and let's see what we can do to get you into those. So I just wanted to take a minute and share a peek at what's coming. And the Mastery Certification Program is a master's level training program where we go through all of this, and you receive issuance of a master's level training certificate. It goes that far into it. Personal assessments, graduation exercises, certified copywriter examination, all kinds of material in there that brings you to a mastery level of all of this, to the point where you can actually teach it and facilitate workshops that I put together that walk people through this entire process. So, Module 14, we are here now for the final observations part of this. And I took these few minutes with you to review what we've been through together, all of the material that we've done, because I really want you to take a minute and acknowledge yourself for the contribution that you've made to your future, your ability to communicate effectively, your ability to build messages that are compelling. It was just important for me to have a look back so that you could see all that you have accomplished, so that you can not only appreciate it, but acknowledge to yourself all the work that you've put in and all that you've learned to this point. Which brings us here to Module 14's final observations. First of all, if you look back on the copy that we've created through the course of this program, there's been no jargon, no fluff, no mysteries, and we've given specific statistics throughout the course of all of it. Exact numbers, exact dates, exact time frames. No fluff and no mysteries just means that there is nothing left to imagination. We state exactly what is. If you look back on all of the material that we've created and all of the copy that we've created as we've gone through this program, all of the material that we've generated and all of the presentations that we've built are made up of mostly one-syllable words. There's almost no three-syllable words anywhere in anything that we've done since you and I got together at the beginning of this training to create any level of content. But in reality, if you go back and you look, it really is mostly one-syllable words. Two-syllable words certainly appear throughout, but there are almost no three-syllable words anywhere. The reason for that is because I want to make this easily relatable for everybody. So, let's talk a second about one other thing I wasn't able to fit anywhere else, and that's what's it worth. Simply stated, never sell on price. Don't let yourself get into a position where you're presenting your product or service and saying something like, you won't find this cheaper anywhere else. Now, it's also important that you don't fall into the trap of thinking that you're not telling people that it's cheaper than anything else while you're still delivering that message. Cheaper anywhere else could be said as less expensive than, and a variety of other ways of presenting that same idea. So be careful that you're not selling on price. You don't want to sell on price because people don't buy on price. People buy on value. Consequently, you want to sell on value. Ask people, how much is your time worth? That's selling on value. Now, how to use all of this. We've covered just a ton of ground. You've generated a lot of material. You've got a workbook filled with notes, answers, and copy that's been created. How do you use all of this? Well, the best way to do it is to create a full version using the template and then tear it all down from there. Get rid of anything that's boring and really scrutinize every sentence. I talked about that early in the program. So what versus now what? When you get done delivering a piece of dialogue, even if it's as short as something for a banner ad or as long as a 6-page sales letter, when somebody gets done, they have one of two reactions, which is so what or now what. We want now what. Avoid the so what by scrutinizing every sentence and getting rid of anything that's boring or doesn't relate to how it benefits ultimately your reader or listener. This applies on a line-by-line basis. Really, you want to take it down and scrutinize every single line of text. Get rid of all of the unnecessary words. That is a culprit which appears quite frequently in amateur copy. You'll discover that is a good example. You'll discover that you no longer need to be able to be dependent on. You can do without the word that entirely, and it's just kind of a mark of amateurish writing when too many that's appear throughout. Where you'll discover you no longer need to is much cleaner and better presented. Next, all of this is meant to mix and match. So you could use your structured packaging model as a standalone presentation, or add any other elements that you desire, or take pieces of it and make individual presentations out of that, which you should do. Having such a broad range of compelling material actually makes this process fun, not frustrating. A lot of people struggle with, what can I say about my product? What can I produce content-wise for my audience? And they struggle with where to go and what to do. You now have a ton of content opportunities given all of the material that you've generated through the course of this program. My commitment to you was to give you all of the tools that you will ever require to create compelling scripts, ads, mail, presentations, and pitches. And I told you at the beginning of this that I was going to hold nothing back and that I was here to support your success. That being said, I want you to understand one important thing, and that's that what I've shared with you is a model that you can recreate. By its very definition, a model is something that can be recreated by other people who can produce the same result. And so what I've shown you here is the model, not the method. And what that translates to is that this isn't like instant success where you can just add water and all of a sudden a money tree will grow or a bag of gold will appear at your feet when you wake up tomorrow morning. This is the model, not the method. This is your public package. However, even the most compelling package, and you've put together a darn compelling one going through this program, even the most compelling public package still has to be seen. You still need for people to get their eyeballs on that message and understand it's compelling before it's compelling. I used to tell the salespeople that worked for me that weren't seeing enough clients that their sales presentation wasn't compelling at all unless somebody was hearing it. Same holds true here. Your message, regardless of how compelling it is, isn't compelling unless somebody's hearing it or reading it. And so I talked early in the program about well-known niches. And I went through some of those niches with you and shared them with you. And those include Bill McIntosh, my good friend at Social Profit Machines, who's created a virtual empire showing people how to profit through engagement. And now most recently with the Social Profit Machines, showing people how to literally create millions of visitors to their websites. Russ Ruffino, creating celebrity visibility systems. And he is just a remarkable, well-respected talent at doing exactly that for a lot of people over a long term. Amy Porterfield with her social engagement marketing. She has been, in my opinion, the leading Facebook marketing expert on the planet for several years now. She literally wrote the book on Facebook marketing and Facebook marketing for dummies. And most recently stemming into Pinterest and coming up with some very creative ways to market on Pinterest. The thing that really sets Amy apart with her social marketing platforms is that she teaches you how to create leads from contacts and sales from leads. So I've always endorsed her programs. I've gotten a lot of great training from her myself. And so just another well-known niche is Amy Porterfield. Me with my own influence mastery training program, showing people how to be able to capitalize on the opportunities they get by having the influence that is either required or desired. And we live in a society where we all find ourselves in that position every day. Paul Culligan with YouTube marketing and podcasting. Again, the man who wrote the book on so many things now. Paul Culligan is just a genius at online marketing from a multitude of perspectives. Most well known, though, for his YouTube marketing and, as of late, podcast marketing. Ted McGrath, creating a lucrative lifestyle-friendly business. Ted's just a great guy, a very relaxed fellow who definitely lives his own message because I know Ted personally and he has a very lifestyle-friendly business. Andy Jenkins and Mike Filsame just recently launched Traffic Genesis that they brought in Laura Betterly from New York via, I believe, Florida, if I'm not not mistaken, recently and kicked off Traffic Genesis, which is a really unique platform. They're actually looking at online marketing not as marketing, but as advertising, and looking at buying advertising as if you are an investor, same as if you were buying any other commodity. And so they're taking a very unique approach to this, and they've come up with a methodology working together with Laura Betterly to create some amazing methodologies for generating traffic through advertising from an investor perspective. And then Jeff Walker of Product Launch Formula. Jeff has been showing people for I don't even know how many years now, going back to his original Product Launch Formula launch. I know he was hands-on with John Rhines when he launched Traffic Secrets back in 2006, which found its way into my mailbox, and a check found its way to PayPal payment, I guess, actually found its way to Florida to make it into the hands of John Rhines, and some of that certainly went to Jeff Walker. So Jeff's been around for a long time teaching people how to do product launches. I've made several mentions in here of contributions that he's made to the stuff that I've shared with you. Very, very valuable training program in his Product Launch Formula. Mike Koenigs of TrafficGeyser.net. Mike has made a life out of marketing automation. You show him a task that needs to be done, and he'll show you a way to automate it. And once he automates it, he shows you a way to make money with it. The man has raving fans all over the planet now. I think about 47% of his fan base and client base, more importantly, is global. And so he has just made an amazing life for himself and impacted the lives of so many others with Traffic Geyser. And again, it's about automating every aspect of creating your visibility for your message out there. And Mike is just pretty much the master at it. And Brendan Burchard at Experts Academy. Brendan has just really done a remarkable job of creating for himself a literal business empire. I think over the last 7 years, Brendan has launched 7 different brands, all of which have become million-dollar brands. So in 7 years, he's launched 7 distinctive million-dollar brands. That's something to pay attention to when people are doing that. He's about self-transformation and building a brand, and that's really what his message is all about. And he taps into a lot of his own experiences and his own history to be able to do that. And then Dr. Ben Adkins, who quite honestly, until just a couple of years ago, I was not familiar with Dr. Ben, and don't know what he was doing beyond his chiropractic practice prior to that. And focusing on making that a success, which is how he built his business. Teaching online marketing is making his own business a success first and foremost. Dr. Ben is just all about creating things that serve marketers. And he has produced a variety of training programs and tools, from Facebook marketing to a piece of software that he's released recently, which I've seen many, many, many marketers using now. And so Dr. Ben's just another great example of a defined niche. And Frank Kern, who has been around since the beginning of the internet, as far as I know, he's about conversions. And really, Frank is about converting anything. Converting traffic into leads, leads into cash, really anything. And doing it with the highest level of simplicity. And so all of these people have created and claimed their own niches. And I talked about creating and claiming a niche at the beginning of this program. Now maybe you get a sense of how you do it. Now, can everybody be a Bill McIntosh overnight where, $55 million in sales volume? No. However, I can tell you that all of these people are accessible, and they can all impact the quality of your life and your ability to deliver your message to the public. They're all well known for their niches, but they're also all visibility resources for you. And there's links on my website to all of these different resources. And I share this with you because I really want you to get access to the absolute best. I can tell you that virtually everybody on this page I have had personal conversations with in the not too distant past, and all of them are complementary messages and trainings with each other. And in fact, a lot of intercomplementary marketing going on between them. Amy Porterfield, you can see on her page right there, is promoting Jeff Walker and his product launch formula. Bill McIntosh just recently promoted Andy Jenkins, Mike Filsame, and Laura Betterly's Traffic Genesis program. Ben Adkins just promoted Bill McIntosh's Social Profit Machine. All of these within the last month, folks. The Experts Academy, Brendan Burchard credits Jeff Walker for being able to show him the techniques in the vehicle to be able to get his message out there on large scale. And I personally have promoted a lot of these people. Most recently, very actively been promoting Bill McIntosh and all that he's doing with his Social Profit Machines, because it's just a really remarkable program. So there's a lot of cooperation between everybody on here. And in fact, I'm working on projects right now with 2.5 people on this page, and I suspect more to come soon. So just a lot of resources in terms of being able to get your message out there, and different ways you can go about it, different styles, different vehicles, different training programs, different software, different automations, just really unique ways of going about doing this. And believe me, if you can get the knowledge that all of these people have, you're unstoppable. And so that's why I share it with you, because these are the best resources, and I want you to have access to the absolute best resources for what it is that you're looking for. I mean, within this page, we're talking about learning and being able to get tools for traffic through engagement, social media leads and sales, creating a celebrity image, public product launches, podcasting and YouTube marketing, advertising for traffic, credibility via authoring, expert level positioning, visibility through influence, building a lifestyle business. And that's only scratching the surface, because the depth of the information that's shared with you in these training programs really ultimately not impacts just your business and your marketing and your ability to create sales. It impacts your life ultimately. So what's next? Well, at this point, you're armed with an arsenal of powerful knowledge about your business, its message, and a public image that you've never had before, and a whole bunch more. But where do you go from here? What do you do next? You've got a fork in the road, so to speak, and you now have the ability to communicate and connect with your audience on a totally elevated platform beyond what you ever had before. Now, if you signed up for the advanced or mastery level training programs, you're going to go on and proceed with the training programs in there, and they would be now open and active having completed this training program. If you didn't, and you feel like you've gotten massive value out of this program, then I want to extend one more opportunity for you to take advantage of getting in on the advanced and mastery level programs, and give you the incentive of saving some money in the process, so you can go to the upgrade page on the website and use the code REBOOT, and we will put together a special pricing package for those of you who have completed the base level training program here and recognize the incredible value you've gotten out of it. It will not be priced at the same price that we offered when we gave you the initial package opportunity, and I just have to honor that for the people that did take advantage of it and did that. However, we will definitely save you some money, so go ahead and use that code REBOOT. This pretty well wraps up Niche Marketing Monopoly. I am Paul Rhines. I want to give you a very personal congratulations. It's been a great pleasure to be able to bring you this material, share this information with you, coach you, guide you, and hold your hand through being able to create the material that's going to be able to allow you to shape your public image and generate the sales, connections, and support that you need both online and in direct presentation situations. You can get VIP access and get connected with me at paulrhines.com, at influencemastery2x.com, or through my Facebook page at facebook.com/influencemastery. Or I am Paul Rhines on Twitter and Google Plus as well. And as a graduate of this program, you will instantly get VIP access. So reach out and connect with me. Please leave some feedback on your social networks about the quality of the training that you got here, some of the value that you've gotten out of it, and maybe If you're proceeding to the mastery level training programs, I will see you there. If this is the end of the training for you for Niche Marketing Monopoly, I again want to thank you and congratulate you for having stuck through this, completed it all the way to the end, and being one of the few who do as opposed to the many who talk. I also want to remind you just to be on the lookout for opportunity, because it is all around you. Until next time, this is Paul Rhines reminding you that the beginning of the rest of your life doesn't start tomorrow. It starts every moment that you're alive. So I want to take a moment and just encourage you to put your focus on making the rest of your life the best of your life. Until next time, I'm Paul Rhines.